be able to showcase something like this in real time is just amazing. And the ability to be able to bring something like this into a kiosk, be able to show customers something ahead of time at point of sale, change leather, change options, and things like that in real time, using the power of the GPU is really what RTT stuff is all about. So we can bring that back to that. And you can see how we get the progressive anti-aliasing and rendering that takes place in there. This is using a Quadro K6000. I believe it's actually using dual K6000s. You get that impressive speed. The difference between the two of these. So if you look at the object here, you can see that as that object moves, you get the stutter in there that's completely eliminated in this monitor over here. This is designed to give a very, very immersive gaming experience. Because anytime you're working inside a monitor, especially for, this is more for gaming, but any time that you're working on something and you start getting artifacting, you start getting stuttering, you start getting anything that takes you out of that experience, it breaks the idea, that fantasy of playing interactively within an environment. So the smoother that we can actually render this, and we're doing this in hardware to eliminate the micro stutters there, this just creates a much more, and design decisions can be made at the blink of an eye. So somebody can instantly see exactly how that object is going to look. You can go ahead and change things. Put new rims on there. You want to go ahead and update that. Let's give it chrome fuel door. Running as the host system. And we're running 2 simultaneous client sessions on that. We can go ahead and interact with these objects. And as you can see, we've got SolidWorks, we've got RTT, both operating in here. I can interact with, I don't want to mess with this one too much because we just got it set up. But this allows for somebody to run on a very, very light client. High-end applications that could usually only be run on workstations. Never in a million years could you get either SolidWorks or RTT DeltaGen working on a lightweight MacBook like this. First of all, the applications don't even run under OS X. Secondly, a laptop system doesn't have the power necessary to run a high-end application like this. So being able to run that session remotely on a server in the cloud and remote that information back to the desktop with no loss in fidelity of the image and complete interactivity is amazing. It's a game changer in terms of what can be done on a thin client. We can actually do the exact same thing on something as light as a Chromebook. And so it really changes what can actually be done in terms of high-end graphics because you're pushing all of the power back to the server room. And so it makes it much easier to deploy units out to end users' desktops, and it makes it much easier from a maintenance aspect for everything to be managed back in the server room. You don't have to go to customers' desks and fix issues and things like that because everything's handled back in the cloud. And so it makes this kind of stuff much, much easier to work with. And this is using our Grid VCA here, using Grid K2 cards, I believe in this case, running in pass-through mode. Another example, utilizing Nvidia GTX Titan to render very, very hyper-realistic human facial features that are almost indistinguishable from real characters. A level of magnitude above what we've seen before in regular CG characters, especially considering for real-time interaction. It's one thing to be able to do this in a render using a production renderer like Arnold or RenderMan, but to be able to do this real-time using shaders and get the level of effects here is something that has never been seen before. Well, before this. It's just amazing to see how detailed it is. Things like subsurface scattering,